Everybody, welcome back YouTube. It's Cameron Sage here, the Hawaiian Trader. Welcome back to the YouTube channel and a couple of interesting tips that I think are going to be extremely helpful for you. The point of this video is to talk about 5 reasons why you might want to start considering this type of investing in general. Let's talk about number 1. Number 1 has to be, I'm going to go with the word cheap for lack of a better term. So there's a lot of investments that are out there, but if you're looking for one that is cheap, it's affordable, just about anybody can do it, this is that kind of an investment. So a lot of people are interested in trading something in the stock market, but they don't know much about the stock market or how it actually works. And so this is a really good opportunity for people to get involved with stocks, but not necessarily using stocks as their primary product. So if you've ever thought about maybe diving into this world, and I gotta be honest, sometimes it seems a little bit intimidating, but if you've ever thought about it, option trading, now this might be new to you, you might have heard good things, bad things, I don't care. What I'd love for you to do is just blank out anything you've read or heard and start fresh and new. Let me just tell you that first and foremost, they are cheap. They're affordable. Anybody can do it. You can place some of these trades with less than $100 in a single position, which I think puts it in that realm of anybody can trade it. So cheap is number 1. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 has to be the convenience. The convenience of trading this way is ridiculous. There are so many different investments out there that people can get involved in that really, if you've got to be in a certain area or demographic or be in the right place, the right time to have an opportunity, or you need to have connections to the right person to be able to do this. Here, all you need is the internet. You can use a tablet, you can use a phone, you can use a computer. And any of those will allow you to trade from any remote location. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. As long as you can access one of those things in the internet, you can trade this way. So it is extremely, extremely easy to do. You can literally look on a phone, for example, which I use a lot, do the basic research, click, 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 place some trades. You can get in, you can get out, you can make adjustments. It's very, very simple. It's never been easier to dive into this. So number 2 has to be absolutely the ability to do it from anywhere. Convenience. Let's get to number 3. Number 3 is a subject that I think is a bit controversial, and that is control, risk control. Now, for years, people, specific individuals, have been saying that option trading is extremely risky. This couldn't be further from the truth. Number 1, it comes down to your basic definition of what is risk. If you want to define risk as saying something that is fast moving is risky, okay, I'll give that to you. Options are risky because they're fast moving. I'll give that to you. But if you want to define risk as how much money you can lose, then they're not risky at all. That's ridiculous. If I put $100 into a trade, my risk is $100. How is that risky? I define the amount of risk that I'm willing to take, so I don't understand how that's any more risky than buying stock or buying any investment. So number 3 has to be controlled risk. The ability to decide how much risk you want to take is insane. It is so easy for you to decide what is your level of risk going to be, and the option market is going to give you an opportunity to take that kind of risk or whatever you're comfortable with. So number 3, risk, the controlled risk factor. I love that factor in this type of investing. All right, number 4 on my list has to be small capital. Small capital is what I'm going to call them. I'm trying to keep these short, even though I could talk about these for hours. But a lot of people say, I want to be an investor. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work from home. I want to be this independent business person. And when you start to look at the different avenues or different ways that somebody could do that, it can be a little bit limiting. This is amazing. If you have a very small amount of capital, and as I mentioned before, a phone, and you want to be an entrepreneur or an investor, this is it. There's no easier way to get started. You can literally open up apps, you can open up brokerage accounts, you can open up access to trade the market, whether it's stocks or options. You can literally do it within a week. And within a week, you can be up and running and have an account funded and ready to trade. But the key to this is funding that account. When you fund this investment, it can be extremely small. You can start off with $100, $1,000, $5,000, whatever level or threshold you are comfortable with. You can start off with this small amount of money. Now, when you're starting here with a brand new year of 2020, this is a great opportunity for you to start rethinking what you want to do. Some of you might be having some tax returns coming here very shortly. You might be thinking, what do I want to do with that? Maybe I can finally be that entrepreneur. I can finally start the business that I've always wanted to start. But you don't have enough money to buy a business or invest in a franchise. Your entire amount of money you're working with could be $1,000. That's all you got. How do you do it? In this space, you absolutely can do it. You can become an investor, an entrepreneur. You can work from home with little to nothing. So there really are no excuses. This is my number 4 and one of the biggest reasons why I love bringing this information to you. My goal is to reach everybody, and I mean everybody that's out there. That's the whole reason why I started this channel, my Instagram, the podcast. It's not because I wanted to find wealthy people that have $1 billion to work with and they just want another investment, or they want to diversify their assets or their portfolio. What I want to do is say, every single person who has access to the internet and a little bit of money, in my opinion, should be doing something with that. This might be that opportunity for you, and that's the purpose of this. I want to share with you a way that anybody can do this with very small amounts of money. You can be up and running within a week. Who is not going to do that? It's eliminating all the excuses, and I'm giving you all the help that you need right here on this channel and all my other avenues. So make sure you're following the Instagram, make sure you're following and listening to the podcast, the mental download, make sure you're accessing that information, make sure you're getting the help and training, because this is all free and it's for you to help you get started. So my number 4, a very small amount of capital. You don't need much to get started. Let's get to number 5. All right, number 5 kind of goes without saying, and that is free information. Now, if you look at a traditional investment, let's say you want to invest in real estate, or you want to invest into buying or the purchasing of some sort of an asset, it's kind of hard to get out there and get the information. For example, I started years ago in the real estate industry, and I started on the lending side, and specifically in like underwriting and loan origination. And that took a lot of time for me to figure out how this works. And I really couldn't access that information, 15 years ago, if I didn't have the books and the job that I had at the time to learn this stuff. Well, this type of training is free. The information is free. It's out there. There's so much information that you can access. You could literally become a student for the next 90 days of this kind of information and content, and you could learn how to do this with no degree, with no job, with nothing that is even tied to this market, options or stock. You could have absolutely zero information, and you could get it all for free. So my 5th and final reason why I say this is amazing is you can learn how to do it essentially for free. And it's never been easier to do. Now, let me close with a couple of these remarks. Number 1, let's recap on the 5 reasons. Let's say the first reason is it's cheap and affordable. Number 2, you can do this from anywhere. Number 3, you can control your risk. Number 4, the startup cost is very low. And number 5, the information and training is free. For those reasons, and if those seem to resonate with you and you say, that sounds like what I'm looking for 2020 and I want to kick it off right, then this might be a great opportunity for you to get started. Let me also encourage you, and I'll have it down in the description below, links to my websites, links to other information like my podcast, which helps you with the mental aspect of trading. Also, access my Instagram account so you can get daily updates on the trades that I do, trade tips, motivation tips, and anything that I'm getting involved in. Also, when I teach and speak in front of large groups of 150 people, or I'm training online virtually, I usually post some of that information free on the Instagram so that you have it. Folks, my goal for 2020 is I want to take a select group of 1,000 people. I want them active in my education program. I want to be teaching them how to do this. And I really think these 5 reasons explain and eliminate any excuses for you to take action and get started. It's all free and it's all for you. Good luck, and thanks for watching.